Hello world, my name is Seth Ponder. Welcome to an episode of PonderCast where professional development does not need to be done in a meeting after school. It can be done right now, and you can use this technology in your classroom tomorrow. This episode is all about an interview with this young man named Josh. He's from out west, and he's created an app and a website called Gimkit that you're going to totally want to check out, sign up for, and use tomorrow. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel so we can share all kinds of great things in education. Hope you enjoy. Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Hello world, my name is Seth Ponder. I've got a new friend and really excited to have him on this PonderCast episode. His name is Josh. He is a recent graduate, but also he created a game that a lot of us are using in education called Gimkit. So Josh, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Where are you from and what are you doing these days?
All right, sure. Thanks, Seth. Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and as Seth was saying, I just recently graduated high school about a month ago now, maybe a little bit over a month ago. And I went to a project-based learning high school, and at this school, we didn't have any classes and we didn't have any grades, and instead we worked on projects as our schoolwork. And so I was trying to do projects to make myself a better engineer. I was really into software engineering. And so eventually I got to a point where I wanted to create a product, some sort of product that would really challenge my engineering skills. And I thought of all the things I can make, and I said, well, if I'm gonna make a product, I might as well make something that I would wanna use. And so I thought back to when I was in traditional school, when I loved playing games in class. I loved playing Kahoot and Quiz the Live. And I said, what if I made one of my own? And so I did. And so I made one of my own and slowly worked with my mentor who came on full time later down the road to just develop the game and work with students and teachers to improve it and make it better. And over time, it's just grown and grown and grown into where it is today.
All right, so this is crazy. So you went to a high school, didn't have classes, right?
Exactly. So my high school is still a public school, but it wasn't open my first year of high school. So I went to traditional high school for ninth grade, and then I went to this new high school for 10 through 12. Okay. But yeah, no classes. I guess that answers your question.
So ever since 10th grade, you've been working on this one project, or did you start with something else?
Yeah, I started with a couple other projects because I started working on this one during like the last 2 months of 10th grade. So I worked on a lot of like other small engineering projects and some other miscellaneous projects because I went into the school thinking I was originally interested in film, so making movies and stuff. So I did some work with that, but then I was starting to learn engineering, and I heard that it's not like riding a bike. Like if you stop learning engineering, especially early on, then you lose it. So I was like, okay, I should focus on that. And then I just really discovered a love for building things and creating things, and so I kind of forgot about film and then just went full in on engineering.
Well, and that's what like every student I feel like wants to be. They see YouTube all the time. They spend so much time on YouTube, and they're like, I want to be a YouTuber. And it's tough. It's a lot of work. And I am a big fan of the Gimkit Gazettes.
Thank you. I'm glad you watched them.
I think you got 3 out now.
3 out, yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to the next one. So
Thank you.
You're kind of using all your loves now, like you're building. And you're doing some directing, writing, all that.
Oh, I wish if it was written that I'm a bad writer. It's all impromptu, but at least I get to use some of my editing skills. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm glad you watch it. Thanks for watching that.
Well, hey, we'll throw all kinds of links down below so other people can subscribe and do that.
Awesome.
How often do you come out with these Gimkit Gazettes?
Yeah, we do them once a month, and so we've done them since April. And originally, we were going to do them in written form. We're like, all right, we'll write that's why we called it the Gazette, because it sounds like a newspaper. We'll write like a monthly update on things that are going on, and then we did the first one in April. And we're like, writing takes way too long, so let's just do it in video. And we also let teachers and students get to know us a little bit better. So now we do them in video, and I try to have them take up less than like 3 hours a month. So we spend about an hour filming, maybe max, and then 2 hours editing for the most part. So the goal is just to get it out there quick, and if it's dirty, that's fine. It's just to give the community a good insight into what's going on.
Well, and that's why I do these, right? It's just real. I mean, it's all dirty, yeah, but it's just real, and that's where people get to know you and your product and things like that. So let's talk about Gimkit. So what is Gimkit?
Oh, that's a good question. What is Gimkit? Gimkit at its core is a classroom game show. So a game show you use in the classroom to help students learn and have fun and be engaged. And kind of where it I can talk. Where it becomes a little different is when it comes to the strategy in the game. So the basic way the game works is students all work on their own devices, and on their devices they see question and answers, and you as a teacher can make that content or you can import it from Quizlet. Either way, you make what we call a kit, which is all the questions and the answers inside a game that you'll play. And so students go through answering these questions at their own pace. And if they get a question correct, they'll earn a little bit of in-game cash. And if they get a question incorrect, they'll lose a little bit of in-game cash. And so they start to answer some questions and they start to earn a little bit of money. And with that money, they can then go into the shop. And the shop is where they can use their money to reinvest and buy upgrades. So student, if they know the content well, may buy an upgrade that allows them to earn more money per question. Or if a student isn't as confident with the material, they may buy insurance. So they don't lose as much money when they get a question incorrect. And so students go in the shop and they reinvest their money to try to have the best strategy to win the game. So that's why we say it's a game that requires not only knowledge of the content, but also collaboration, strategy, and communication to win. So it requires all those elements to win the game.
Okay, I'm digging this. So you kind of mentioned this before, and you said you wanted to build something that you enjoyed. When you started building this, did it come with like you defining a problem like many engineers do, or was your problem like, dude, I'm bored in school, like I need something fun, or what was it something else?
That's a great question. So yeah, my school made me go through a process called design thinking. And with that design thinking, it's to really solidify what the problem is and then ideate ways to solve that. So I first solidified my current problem, which is that I was unengaged in class. But I did found that like games did help me become engaged, but I didn't think everything with the current games was perfect. And so then I spent about 2 months interviewing teachers and students, and I asked them what their major pain points of the existing games were. And that's why I think Gimkit really fits in well, because it takes the major pain points of the other games and solves those, but then the major pain points of Gimkit is really where the other games come into play. So you can use all of the games together depending on kind of what kind of style you want to have in your class. And so from students, the main piece of criticism that I got from them that they were frustrated with the current games is that if they didn't feel like they were the smartest ones in class, they didn't feel like they had a chance to win. So that was the main one I heard from students. And then the main one I heard from teachers is that for most of these games, they only got to go through the questions once. So students never got a chance to practice content that they got incorrectly. And so I took those, and there were a few other pieces of criticism that I got from either side, and I tried to ideate some gameplay ideas together to fix those solutions. So that's where it came from.
And these are all great. Like, I guess my next question is, how did you know when to launch? Because it's really hard for anybody, whether you're 35 years old or 15 years old, to know kind of when to launch something because you want to put your best foot forward.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I guess everyone would have a different opinion. For me, when I wanted to launch when I just had whatever made, at the time it was called Gimlet, but whenever I made whatever I had, the point of it, like which was just the basic gameplay, whenever I could share that as early as possible, that's when I wanted to do it. So about a month before the official launch, I just ran a beta with a few teachers to collect that feedback. And so I guess that was the quote unquote soft launch. But I mean, it was so early. It was missing so many features. It was missing a homepage even at the time. It just had a button here to register. So it's really just like the basic idea of what this thing could be. I just launched it as soon as possible, so that way I could get that feedback as quick as possible. And so I launched it. Oh yeah, sorry.
No. Yeah, please continue.
Okay, so for me, I launched it as quickly as I could so I could get that feedback and make changes with them. Because what I didn't want to do was spend a year having my vision, but my vision ends up being different than what teachers and students need. And so I spent a year building something that's not needed at all. So I try to get it out there as soon as possible so I could start that feedback loop.
That's a great thing for students to hear and adults to hear too, because we have so many ideas in our head that we ultimately have to remember that the customer is number one. And so whether you're doing a landscaping business or creating an app, website, we want to please the customer. And so that's awesome.
Yeah. And I think I've said this before. I actually wish I had released a quote unquote version earlier, because I spent about 5 or 6 months engineering the first version. But what I wish I had done was I came up with this idea in cash. What I wish I had done was not spend a single day writing code. I wish I had gotten Monopoly money, grabbed a group of students and just played the game that way, just to see if the idea would work. So I actually wish I had done that earlier on, because I got kind of lucky that the gameplay actually worked out, but there's a good chance it could not have. So I wish I actually, before I even wrote a single line of code, I wish I thought of other ways to validate the idea before going and investing time building it.
How many users are you guys up to?
Yeah, users is a bit tough. So it's a bit of a tough number, because we don't have we don't have a concept of student accounts right now. We're working on a new privacy policy, so that way we can have student accounts. So right now we have a lot of we have a lot of teachers that sign up, and we also, I think we have a lot more students that sign up than teachers actually. So students will go in and make their own account. So we don't actually have a good idea right now of how many teachers versus how many students. But the number that we do know is in May, and then things have obviously slowed down over the summer, but May was the peak for this year so far. In May we had 3 million teachers and students combined using Gimkit. So
holy cow. So in a year and a half?
Let's see, I launched late October 2017. So yeah, a year and a half.
Year and a half, 3 million teacher users. That is insane.
Teacher and students.
Teacher and student users. That's insane. All right, convince me. All right, I'm a teacher. I teach engineering. I teach high school. Why should I use Gimkit?
Well, let's see. I guess I'd probably need more context into how you run your classroom, because Gimkit doesn't work for every classroom. Good point. But I mean, I will say this, like if your students are not feeling as motivated, if you're having trouble reaching a group of students that just don't feel like they're getting enough out of school, or they're not engaged in their content, Gimkit is a really great way to get students involved and excited about school. Because I've heard a lot of stories about the students that were always the ones that were not engaged and that just sat in the class and didn't do anything. They became interested in their work because of Gimkit. So if you have those types of students and you're looking for ways to shake things up and make things as interesting as you can for them, I'd say at least try giving Gimkit a shot.
I love it. I also love the fact that you're bringing in money, you're bringing in insurance, you're bringing in collaboration, which all of our students need to know. I think mentioned in the last update that there is a collaboration with teachers, so teachers can share their kits.
Yeah, teachers can share their kits, but it's a bit tough too right now, because there's not like a share button or anything. So I'm working on a new kit viewing page right now, which will have a share button so you can quickly share your kits with others. And the goal is also to have teachers input the school that they go to when they create an account. And so that way you can actually see a list of other kits made by teachers at your school. So it's a lot easier to share kits between teachers.
Oh, and that would be like, because in traditional schools, kids go through all the different classes and different teachers. And so that's like all schools, except for your school. So
yeah, right, yeah.
I want to kind of back up to that. So were you in like one classroom with one teacher all day long? How was that set up in a project-based school?
Yeah, it's always really funny because Gimkit can't be used at a school like mine, because we don't have a set curriculum, so we don't have anything to review and stuff, right? Because it's all self-guided, for the most part, self-guided learning. So yeah, the way my school works is we're at the school building or I should say did work, or it still works, but I don't go there anymore, so I don't know what tense I'm supposed to use. But the school I went to, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we are at the school building, and then Tuesday and Thursday we aren't at the school building at all, and we do internships on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're not at school, we go to an organization or a company. So that's what I did. That's how I learned a lot of my engineering skills, was by working at an internship. And so that's Tuesday, Thursday, and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we start the day off with advisory. And so with advisory, we have an advisor at our school, and our advisor is kind of responsible for all of the quote unquote in between. So like every student is different. And so you can't just send a student into a very unique, different kind of school and not have someone there that can help guide them through that process. So that's who our advisor is. And my advisor is Hillary. And so we start the morning off with advisory, which is a group of from 9th through 12th graders. And so you grow up with these kids, and you grow up with your advisor, and you get to talk with people from other grade levels. And it's supposed to help build a strong community at school. So I really love that time. And we spend about an hour of that every morning. And then we head into about 2.5 hours of independent work time. And so that's time to work on projects. There's things called offerings that are going on. And that's when just like small little sessions, like how to use this tool or how to use that tool. And so you work on projects, group projects, individual projects. And that's a lot of time I spent working on Gimkit at school was during that time. And then we have lunch, and then we the only traditional course we have to take at our school is math. So we do math online, and we spend an hour after lunch each day just doing our online math course. And then we have, for I think it's an hour and 45 minutes after that, something called design labs. And design labs is like more guided project-based learning. So instead of you coming up with your own project, you'll join a design lab, and they're each 4 weeks long. And the advisor will go over the subject. So maybe you are learning about the Holocaust, for example. So the advisor will teach about the Holocaust, you'll do some research, and then that's the first 2 weeks of the design lab. And the last 2 weeks of the design lab is creating a project around that. So maybe a research paper or maybe an art project to display what happened in the Holocaust, whatever it might be. And so we do that, and then we end the day off with advisory. That's what the school day looks like.
I love this. I want to come through. I want to come out west and live in Seattle and join your teaching staff.
The type of school is a big picture school, and there's a lot of big picture schools actually around the U.S. There's a lot of them in New York, but there's probably one pretty close to you. But big picture schools kind of range in how progressive they are. So our school is very progressive, right? Because we have math class, but that's pretty much it. Whereas some big picture schools just incorporate like the internship piece, or they do a little bit of project-based learning.
For example, I teach Project Lead the Way, and our seniors do a capstone class. And so it's kind of like that, where they define problem, they go through the design process all year, and then we do some kind of innovation fair at the end where
awesome.
Present their findings. Throughout your school year, you mentioned doing betas, but do you and your friends that create other things, do you guys bounce ideas off of each other, even though you're all doing something totally different?
Oh, yeah. We're all doing different things, and we all sit next to each other when we're doing work, so we're always asking each other ideas. And then kind of what you talked about, you said you had something at the end of what'd you call it?
We call it an innovation fair.
Innovation fair. So 3 times a year we have things called exhibitions, and that's when we kind of do our display of work. It's like the final for our school. And so 2 of those a year, the first one and the last one, is more formal presentation style. So you basically have everyone that's like a stakeholder in your life. So your advisor, your family, your internship mentor, project mentors, and your friends, they all come to your room and you present your work and you get feedback. And then so that's the first and last exhibition of the year. And then the middle one is like a science fair style. So you present your work and people walk around and you kind of get to see what other students are working on. And so those are ways that we get to see each other's work. But besides that, for sure, because I sit around my friends. Well, I used to. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'd sit around my friends and we're all doing our work. And so we bounce ideas and ask each other questions.
What were some of the cool ideas that your friends came up with?
Oh, they had a lot of like cool ideas for the initial themes and power-ups. Like the ICER came from them, which is like one of the most popular power-ups now. And then when I was making the initial list of themes, that was on my friends helping me out with that. And then they were also there in the beginning. They were helping me conduct the interviews for teachers and students to figure out kind of the major pain points on either side. So yeah, it was cool having them along the way.
So they helped you, right? And now Gimkit's getting so big that you're working there and Jeff is working there, right?
Yep.
So are you guys are building. So are you guys hiring new people?
So wrapping up these 2 hires right now. We don't plan on making any more hires for a while. We want to make sure we do these 2 right and before we move on. But we hope to make some more hires definitely in the future.
All right, now I got to turn it to like a teacher side of me.
Sure.
Does it cost anything?
Yes, it does. So I actually started charging Gimkit. It was weird because I never anticipated Gimkit being a business, but I started charging for Gimkit from the beginning because there was costs associated with running the servers. And I was like, okay, I got to keep the servers running. And then it just kind of slowly started becoming a business because I was charging for it from the beginning. And it's funny because the pricing for the subscription hasn't changed since day one, which is really funny. Anyway, so we have a free plan now, which we're working to update because it's too restricting right now. But basically, it gives you all the features of Gimkit, but allows you to make 5 games. And then there's a pro subscription, which if you pay for the year, it works out to be $5 a month, and that allows you to make unlimited games.
All right, $5 a month, and I can load all 120 of my students on it.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't charge by students, just for a teacher subscription.
I love that. That is awesome. This is exciting, man. Like, you are 18 years old. I'm feeling like I'm a little behind. Like, I make our YouTube videos and like you're killing it, dude.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I think it's exciting because I mean, I would never have had the opportunity to do this without the kind of school I go to. So we see more of these schools popping up, and I think it's only exciting to see what kind of things students are going to make in the future. So I'm really excited to see my school, my style of school being implemented more across the world and across the United States, and even just kind of small snippets. Like we're seeing more and more project-based learning and incorporated into classes, even if it's not a non-traditional school. So I think that's really exciting because I mean, I think there's so many amazing things students can create. So just allowing them to unlock their potential. I think we're going to see some really exciting things over the next few years.
I also think like it's kudos to your parents for putting them into this project-based class, the big picture school, and like giving you the freedom to do that, because so many parents out there are just like, high school worked for me, and you're going to do it this way, the same way I did it. But as I think you and I both know, and many people are like, times are changing. Like, get on board. Like,
oh, absolutely. I mean, my parents have been extremely supportive. My mom was the first one that sent me the article about the school. That's like, oh my gosh, the school looks great for you. And there's definitely some like concerns. I was part of the first graduating class, and I'm doing Gimkit after high school now. But at the time, obviously, it was like, college was a big thing. And so being part of the first graduating class and not having a GPA and not having grades and not having courses, there was that concern there of like, well, how is college going to work? But they trusted the system. My principal is amazing too, and they trusted her we're going to figure this out. And as long as we're showing our learning, that's what's important, and we'll find a way to make it work.
Let me ask the guidance counselor question, I guess.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Like, are you going to college?
No, I'm not going to college. So I'm going to be doing Gimkit full time after high school.
That's awesome.
Or I guess now. That was after high school.
Yeah, and there's always time.
So weird. I'm so used to talking like as if I'm still in school, because it hasn't quite hit me yet. I feel like it's gonna hit me in September when I'm like, I should be in school right now, but I'm not in school. But now it still feels like summer break, and I'm just working during summer break. But I think in September it'll feel weird because my sister also goes to the school that I just graduated from. And so it'll feel weird because my sister will be going to school. I'm like, oh wow, I'm not coming with her to school now. It's gonna feel weird, but hasn't quite hit me yet.
Asking this to like everybody that's on the show lately, what do you define as success?
Oh, what do I define as success? That's a good question. I think what I define as success, like what I want to have with my work, is to create a world where students look forward to going to school. Because for the longest time, especially starting with like sixth grade-ish, when I was in elementary school, I really enjoyed going to school. But then when sixth grade came around, kind of starting from there, I started to look forward to coming to school less. And I imagine if I still went to traditional school, I probably would have felt the same way. But I saw kind of what can happen when student loves to go to school. And so my goal would be to do work that helps more students get to that place where we can make a school where students look forward to being there and that they want to be there. I think we spend 16 or 15 years at least of our life in school. And this is a really important time where we're learning, we're growing, and we're becoming who we are going to be when we grow up. And for some reason, so many students like hate that time. They don't look forward to it. And I think that's so sad because it's such a crucial part of our life. And so my goal for success would be doing work that helps more students enjoy their time in school, to really unlock their potential and look forward to it. And I think that would count as success to me.
Let me just do 5 lightning round questions at you, because I don't think we're at the beginning. And so, number 1, what's your favorite color?
I always say black, but I heard black is technically not a color, so I'll go for red.
Number 2, what's your favorite TV show?
Mr. Robot.
All right.
But Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are very much up there.
Number 3, what's your favorite summer activity?
My favorite summer activity, I'll say around here, hiking for sure.
Cool. Number 4, what's your favorite place to go?
Ooh, like travel?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I really love San Francisco. I think it's a really nice city. I love going there a lot.
And the last one is, what's your favorite app?
My favorite app? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So there's a calculator app. I know this is going to sound weird, but this is like an app. It's so simple, but I'm so impressed by it. It's called Numi, Numi. It's a calculator app for the Mac, but it's like how a calculator for the computer should be. It's incredible. So I checked that one out.
Okay. All right.
Yep. It
and
saves
of
so
course,
much time.
Gimkit, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Gimkit's my favorite app.
Where can people find you on social media if they want to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Josh Gimkit, so JOSHGIMKIT. And then also just Gimkit's Twitter is GIMKIT, so that's where you can find me.
All right, man. Best of luck to you. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
being
Seth.
on. And I hope everybody creates a user. I know I am going to start the year doing that. So once I log off here, I might just open an account right now. I might be the one like July.
The 1 July registration.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank you
so
much.
much,
Thank you so much, Seth. Appreciate it.